So we're back in the Jag, and some of my previous videos I've been doing the EGR sensor on this. Now it did resolve the problem. I cleaned out all the intakes and replaced the EGR valve, and it ran sweet for a while, and then the check engine light came back on with a fault code P04, is it 405, something like that. Not going to plug it in. I've got my thing in there. I've got a couple of devices to check it out. One of these is I think Safe it's called, and then I've got like a bog standard one there. But I've done all sorts to it. I've put turbo hoses on and can't find where the faults. I've checked the wiring, the voltage is correct to the EGR, and I even bought a brand new EGR valve to put on it, so that's the second brand new one, and still no joy. The check engine light comes on, so I'm going to show you that in a minute, and then I'm going to show you what I'm going to do today. Now this is what's called a map sensor here. Now when I replaced the turbo pipes, I broke the clips on it there, so I do need to replace this, but this measures the pressure, and this is part of the EGR system. Now in theory, being a sensor, it should come up anyway as a fault code on a separate one. Now for whatever reason it might not have done that. Now I'm about 50-50 whether this is going to work or not, but it does need replacing because I did break the clip things there. So we're going to replace that and see if they have any joy, and the engine and check engine light comes off as well. I've also got some vacuum hoses, and these are for washers as well, because I need to sort the windscreen washers out on this. But this is the Haynes manual that I've got for the car, which is interesting because in the Haynes manual, if you look up the map sensor here in the back and find out what category it is in the you got the mass airflow sensor, the mass airflow system, manifold absolute pressure sensor map, 4B7. So we'll go to there and find out what it says for this car. As I say, it was 4B7. So there we go, fuel systems, and it will tell you something completely different. So here we go. It says here, the map sensor is only fitted to a 2.2 litre model. Right? Now, although that is correct, what it doesn't tell you is that this is a map sensor, right? And there is one on it, which is on the turbo pipe down below the EGR valve, which will show you that in a minute. Does not say that in the Haynes manual, because I believe that the map sensor is on the manifold at the top end of the engine, but it's not on this model, the 2 litre turbo diesel. This is a Ford Mondeo engine, end of the day, so it is basically a Ford. Now, so it is correct that it only fitted to a 2.2, but it's also incorrect in the fact that there is a pressure sensor, because it is measuring the pressure in the turbo pipe, so that is part of the EGR system. So we're going to replace that. Like I said, I'm not confident that this is going to work, but we are going to try and get this engine management light off this car, because there is no MOT. Here in the UK we need our cars MOT in every 12 months, and while that light's on, it will not pass an MOT. They will just fail it straight away. It's instant fail. So we need to sort this out, get the car back on the road, and then we can use it and enjoy it a little bit. So there we go. So we're going to crack on now. I'm just going to start the engine to show you what I mean. Got my little key here. So we're out of gear. It fires up nice. Here we go, engine light on, and that's not good. Now I can turn that off with my I can turn it off with this and get the engine light to go off, but it will come back on. It doesn't take long for it to come back on. Now on previous, when I did the EGR valve, it stayed off for ages and then came back on after clearing the fault code. Now I have tried a blanking plate as well, but it only revved up to 3,000 revs and then cut out, which obviously you sometimes get to that point when you're changing gear and everything. So what we're going to do now is we're going to turn the engine off because I don't want it too warm, and then crack on with the sensor valve. So I'm going to show you where that is now. I've got my little torch to show you. Just need the basic set of tools. So this is a basic small socket set. It is a Torx, but I can't remember what size it is, so we're going to just wing it, and I put some gloves on as well. So here we go. So you might, I'll just shine the torch down there, you might just be able to see it where I'm shining the torch, but that is where your map sensor is on the car. Just there, right at the bottom. So that's not the easiest place in the world to get to. So what we're going to have to do is just get my hand down there, find out which Torx it is, and hopefully get a Torx thing on. Now I'm not going to unclip the wire, I'm just going to take it off and unclip it. I think I can pull it up enough to get the clip off the wire, but that's what we're going to replace today. So there you go. I pulled the air filter up a little bit so I could see what we were doing, but you can, it's just down there, and I've removed it here, but there you can see there, it's all broken, is the clip and everything. Now I have just lost one of the screws down in the side of the engine, so it's important. This is how fiddly this is to do. Probably a lot easier just to do it if you're doing your turbo pipes, but unfortunately that wasn't what we were going to do today. We were just going to make life more difficult. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to reattach this with that one screw, and I'm going to pinch another screw from somewhere else, and hopefully I might take one out of the MAF sensor here somewhere, somewhere where I can just get another one and replace it quite easily. But I think it'd be more important to have one on the turbo pipe than the airflow. I don't think I'm going to find the screw down in all that oil. It will be down there somewhere. I can't quite see it, but we'll see. It might just fall out on the floor when I move the car. So what we'll do is get this new sensor fitted. I do recommend buying a good make of sensor rather than the cheap ones that you see on eBay, simply because the cheaper ones on eBay are usually shit. there's the new sensor. And there you can even see on the packaging it says map sensor, which is what I was saying about Haynes saying there wasn't one on it. Well, there clearly is, because it's called one. It measures airflow through the turbo, the pressure, so there you go. So there we go, we're on. Like I said, I've removed, well, I haven't removed it exactly, but you know, you probably can't see it down there very well. But there you go, it's on, it's in. I removed a screw from the MAF there because I'd lost one. That should be alright. We'll order some more screws, I think, because we might need some more taking things on and off this car. But there you go, that is the map sensor on, and hopefully that's resolved some of the issues. Just going to put this back on this vacuum hose here, and might need to do something with that. There you go. It does look a bit clogged up with oil, does that? Like I said, the plugs thing's broke anyway, so it needed replacing. Just going to move my oil dipstick thing back over a bit, because I moved that. Put this back in, reattach everything, and see whether it's worked or not. So, moment of truth, will it work? Like I said, I'm not 100% confident that this has done anything. Like I said, it was broken, the plug anyway, so we needed to replace that. I'm gonna fire it up. So the light is still on. So obviously that's not done anything, but what we'll do is reset the code anyway and see if it'll remove it and not come back on. So I'll just plug my thing in a minute. So there you see it says read code, so we're going to read the code. So it should be in stored codes. There you go, P0405 exhaust gas recirculation sensor circuit low. So that's what it's saying. I'm going to escape out of that, see if there's a pending code as well, same one. So what we'll do is erase them and say yes. There you go, the light's gone out now. Now we've gone back to there, so let's go back to read code. No code stored. So best thing to do is leave the engine running, because that is what happened last time. I literally just let the engine run, and we'll come back to it later to see whether it's done anything. Yeah. So the Jag has been running now for about 10 minutes, and the mill light or the engine check light still hasn't come on. I've just plugged my OBD scanner tool back in and checked for pending codes, and the P0405 has come up. Obviously that's backwards because I'm using the other camera on the phone, but that means it will more than likely come back on the dash after a while. So what we're going to do is I'm going to leave that for now. I've got another part come in, which is the vacuum, because because I took the vacuum hose off while I was messing about with it, and I was told something might happen, or the revs might go down or something if I removed the vacuum hose, and nothing happened. So I'm not sure if that's working or not. But that isn't a sensor. That is part of the EGR thing, but it won't come up on the sensor, but it will affect the EGR readings on that sensor. So that could be what the problem is. It's one of those mystery things that, you know, it's a process of elimination. But that map sensor did need replacing. It was broken, was the clip. It was only a matter of time before we had to do something. As you can see, it's not in a really good place to just do it. It's a very fiddly job. I've lost a screw. I will need to order some more screws now so I can replace the one on the MAF sensor. But that won't affect this too much for this car. It is holding it down with one screw, so it should be alright for now. But other than that, I can't do anything else. So let me know in the comments if you've got any suggestions what you think might be causing the error code. This does need to go in for an MOT. I mean, if that engine light stays off long enough for the MOT, which will be happy days basically, but if not, it'll obviously fail, like I said. But we'll keep at it. I'll get the other part this week, so we'll do another video for that, so keep watching. So yeah, hope you got something out of this today. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel if you found this interesting, and we'll check you in another video soon. Thanks for watching.